I am tired of my BF feeling insecure about me looking for friends. How can I help him? TL, BF is insecure of other men, can't interact with them without him feeling bad about it. Guy invited me to his party and he feels bad. I want to help him but I don't know how. My boyfriend of almost 7 months has always felt insecure about our relationship due to cheating among his family being constant and destructive during his childhood, and I always understood and acknowledged that. However, it is starting to bother me. To make it short, I moved to this new city when I turned 18. My excuse was college, but TBH I wanted to isolate myself from ex-friends that lived in my native town. Awful mistake. I ended up alone for a long time, since I don't know anyone here, and it started to hurt little by little. I started craving for friends, and I couldn't find the strength to try and do it again due to the ways I've hurt my past friends. It's been like that for a whole year and a half, until I met my BF. He made me feel loved and like I had a friend again. We fell in love, confessed and started dating some months later. However, I still craved friends, so I tried to make an effort. The store near my apartment that I tend to go regularly has an old lady that's always been so nice and outgoing, and a few weeks ago a new guy around my age started working there. We also started talking and he was as charismatic as the old lady. I told about this to my boyfriend and he was hurt. He wanted to go to the store and talk to the guy, just to check if he's straight or if he could be a menace to him. I told him that wasn't necessary and that I wasn't interested romantically in that guy. I was just happy I was starting to come out of my dark hole. We had a long talk and basically we sorted it out. Of course that wasn't the first or last time this happened. Every single guy that talked to me led to the same conversation. He didn't have this issue with women. He was just afraid that some guy would come up at me and try to kiss me or flirt with me. I was growing tired of this but still tried to understand because I get how it feels. Every time I reassured him I only wanted to be with him. I stopped telling him about interactions I had with men, and avoided them whenever we were hanging out together. I started getting better and I got into music lessons, where I met a couple of people, but got really close to a few girls. Of course, my boyfriend didn't have an issue since they were girls. I asked him if he would feel bad if there was a guy and he said he would. That was pretty annoying to me but I chose to understand and reassure him that even if that happened, that wouldn't mean I don't love him. This week, one of the girls, fake name, Amy, 19F, asked me to go to his best friend's, fake name, Ethan, 20M, birthday party. Keep in mind, Amy has told a lot of things about me to Ethan, and it has developed to some kind of parasocial relationship lol. It was supposed to be a small gathering between Amy's friend group, but Ethan chose to ask some of his college friends to come, and said everyone else can ask anyone they wanted to come. Amy thought of me, and Ethan just instantly asked her to send me an invitation. I was really excited to meet a lot of people. However, my boyfriend did not like this that much, and called me saying if he could ask some questions. He basically asked if Ethan was in a relationship, if he was gay, and if people invited were gay. I was really annoyed and heartbroken but told him I didn't know because I literally only know Amy and no one else. He said it's a pretty weird move from Ethan to invite someone that you don't know at all, and that he didn't trust Ethan. We basically talked for a whole hour about it, and I ended up snapping and telling him I was tired of his insecurity, that I've been craving for this opportunity to finally make some friends and stop feeling so lonely after all these years. He said he was sorry, that he doesn't want to be like this but he can't help it. He asked why am I still dating him and I replied, to be honest, I don't know and I'm tired. I know, it was really cruel from me. My boyfriend said he was sorry again, that he wants to give our relationship a last shot. I said I don't know. I just grew so tired of him feeling insecure of every single man. He says it's weird that I'm actively looking for friends, and I told him it was because I feel lonely and lost all my friends, a long story that I already told him. He said he remembers, but it was still weird. We said we would take some time to chill and think. To be honest, I don't want to break up with him because he's a great partner besides this insecurity he has. But I'm tired of having to explain everything I do with every man I come in contact with. I feel like there should be some trust, and he has none. I'm trying to think what's better for both of us, and I kind of feel like breaking up. But honestly, I also want to know if there's anything I can do to help him get through his insecurity, and maybe try once more. It feels like we're going in circles, this keeps happening again and again. I know he's supposed to do his part, but maybe there's something I can do to help? Any advice would be appreciated. Comnet. Wait, so your BF is so insecure with himself that he thinks you will hop on the first guy you see at a party or with friends? Am I reading this right? He honestly needs some soul searching and growing up before he becomes BF material. I'm sorry to say that. Wake up and break up? OMG, your BF sounds very stifling. I wouldn't stay with someone like that. His trauma is not your responsibility to fix. Next story 2. I feel like my relationship with my boyfriend doesn't care about me. We've been dating for 4.5 years, living together for over a year. I've lately been feeling like my boyfriend doesn't see me at all. We're both in stressful careers with long hours, and during the week we tend to just get home, eat, and go to bed. Any time spent together is us on our phones next to each other. If I try to engage in conversation with him, he just mms along and doesn't engage with what I'm saying until he changes the subject / goes back to his phone. We recently went to a friend's wedding together, and he spent the entire time talking to complete strangers, even whilst we were sat next to each other at dinner. I'd understand if he was with his friends the whole time, as he's not seen them in a while, but strangers? Really? He barely spoke to me. He even disappeared for a while, and I found out him / his friends and their girlfriends had gone for a walk and he hadn't thought to tell me. My dad's also very sick at the moment, and he hasn't once asked me how he is or how I'm coping with it. He hasn't offered to come visit with me. Literally no support at all. I tried to have a very sincere conversation with him about how life has been getting me down lately this week, including the parts I mentioned above relating to our relationship. I rarely feel comfortable discussing my emotions and completely opened up, and he barely acknowledged me and instead just said, don't feel that way. I then said him not supporting me etc. was hurtful, and he was just silent and didn't try to engage in a discussion. I'm not innocent in this. I'm also tired during the week and like to go on my phone etc. But any time he's expressed he's down to me, I'll listen, have a full conversation with him, enact any changes / support him however I can. I don't understand why he isn't willing to talk through things with me, or support me. Or even just ask how I am. Any suggestions? Comment. First off, it's essential to remember that you're not alone in this, and many couples go through phases like this. It sounds like you both have demanding careers, which can be super draining, but that doesn't mean you have to settle for feeling disconnected from each other. It's crucial to find a balance and make time for each other, even during busy weeks. You tried having an open conversation with him, and it's disheartening that he didn't engage or offer support when you needed it the most. But don't give up just yet. Sometimes, guys can be clueless about these things, so it might be worth having another heartfelt talk about how you're feeling and what you need from him. Emphasize the importance of emotional support and being there for each other, especially during difficult times like your dad's illness. Let him know that communication and showing interest in each other's lives are crucial for keeping the relationship strong. One thing that might help is to inject some polarity into your relationship. Try planning a fun date night or surprise him with something he loves. It could be a way to reignite the excitement and remind each other of the reasons you fell in love in the first place. Also, don't forget to take care of yourself and prioritize your emotional well-being. If you find that your efforts are going unnoticed or unappreciated, it might be worth considering if this relationship is truly fulfilling your needs.